Hi, how you doing there, folks? I'm making this video in response to this article I seen in today's AM New York. AM New York is a free publication that comes out in New York City every morning. That in the metro. And this one was the title of this article was "This Old Bus," and it's AM New York exclusive. Drivers worried it's more than 25% of fleets over the hill. Here, I'll show you the article right here, folks. Okay, okay. Now, I disagree with this article. It says many of the MTA's buses are too old to be on the street. No. In Canada, buses are kept on the street up to 18 years. They're rebuilt 3 times and they're kept on the street up to 18 years. Now, the MTA's buses, by the numbers, 6,200 total buses in the fleet. 1,700 buses in the fleet are 12 years old or older. 968 million total bus rides in 2008. That's the ridership. 3,950 average number of miles between bus breakdowns in January, and that's very good, folks. That's very good. The 390 bus routes in the city, so the maintenance of these buses are in excellent shape. But these RTS buses that the MTA has are really kept in very good shape and very good maintenance done on them, folks. And in Buffalo, the NFTA, the ones the transit system over in Buffalo, they did a terrible job of maintaining their buses. Basically, it's like this over there, folks. RTS buses that were bought in 1982, by 1989, by 1987, 88, 89, they were already falling apart 5 years later because the way the streets is so bumpy over there. And believe me, the streets in New York are not that bad. Okay, basically, and they're saying that 850 hybrid buses are supposed to be bought at the end of the year. It says right here, the MTA bought hundreds of new hybrid and took over the 7 private routes in 2006. Some older models remain in service by years end. The MTA is set to receive 850 hybrid buses that will replace many of the vintage models. Okay. Now, this is what I want to emphasize, folks. To buy a brand new bus costs us $500,000. $500,000 smackaroos, folks. And these roll floor buses are not as built as good as the high floor buses. They're closer to the ground. They're more subject to floor problems. Many of the streets are very bumpy. A lot of the hybrid buses breaking down. There's a lot of problems with the ones in Toronto that the TTC has. Number two. And number three, they're very uncomfortable because you're sitting, and they shouldn't be on the busy routes because they don't seat as many passengers. Number one. Number two, on the busy routes, you don't get to sit on the part where you're high up, and I hate sitting on that roll part. You don't get to see the scenery. But it's unsafe because you're at the same height as cars. The whole idea that makes buses safer is that you're high up. Now, let me get to now I'm going to get right to the punchline. Okay. There's 1,700 buses in the fleet that are 12 years or older. Okay, 1,700. Okay. 850 hybrid buses are going to be bought, okay? Out of those 850 of the oldest buses that the MTA has in its fleet, take 400 of those buses, rebuild them for $100,000 each, and use them for service increases. Use them to increase service on the routes that could use more service. Because as ridership rises, there's more old buses at the streets. Well, rebuild some of those buses and use them on the routes where more service could be, increased, and take 200, take, that would be like, use 200 of those buses for service increases and take 200 of those buses to use them on the busiest routes where the hybrid buses, welfare buses shouldn't be on, because those are very high ridership routes where they need buses to seat the most passengers, and these are routes that are the routes that are very busy. Alright, another thing is, now, on some of the routes right now, they're exploring, they're testing out new 60 foot long articulated buses from Nova Bus, which is over in Quebec. I think some of those should be bought and purchased, and they should be used on these routes that are very overcrowded. The one of them is the B35 over in Brooklyn. Now this route is crowded. When you get on, and I usually get on over at 39th and 13th Avenue, and I take it to 9th Avenue, usually on Fridays. That's when I have to use this route. Hardly ever am able to get a seat. The all four buses should not be on that busy of a route. They need 60-foot long. These brand new 60-foot long buses from Nova Bus should definitely be used on the B35, which has very high ridership. Another route that those buses could very well be used on is the B44, which runs down Bedford Avenue in Brooklyn and runs up Nostrand and Bedford Avenue and Lee. That's a very busy route, especially during rush hour. There's as many as 25 people coming on in just one stop. Very busy route. The B44 and those buses should be used in Manhattan on the M16 and the M34. 4 routes, folks. Those should be used on. Now, I think that all welfare buses that the MTA should buy. They need these longer buses right away, so they should be bought for these 4. I wouldn't buy them for use them in Manhattan. They should be bought for these 2 Brooklyn routes this year, the B35 and the B44. Okay, and they should be bought for the B40, these 2 routes, B44 and the B35. Okay. All orders for welfare buses that have already been done, take the orders. Once these orders are done, don't take any more orders for these buses. Get Nova Bus to redesign their 60-foot welfare buses, which the MTA could buy more of. Get them to redesign, get Orion to redesign their welfare hybrid buses so that more people can sit higher. On the high part of the bus, there's only 18 seats. Basically move the back door a little bit more forward and get it to where there's 7 more seats where you can sit higher. And then there'll be 25 seats where you can sit on the high part of the bus. Then you got the welfare part in the front, and basically these buses would then be much more comfortable. The MTA should definitely do that before they take any more orders of any more future welfare buses that are not already ordered in the future. And I really think they should try to find a provider or convince one of these manufacturers to still build them the old way, still build high floor buses.